It's a whole bunch of confusion. And what's crazy about the Dark Night of the Soul is some people don't even know that they're going through it. Like they calling it spiritual attacks. I'm like, yo, like you're spiritually attacking yourself. You gotta fight this shit.
Right. Right, and then like even in like psychiatric circles, or I mean, just in the culture nowadays, especially in the U.S. with like antidepressants and all of that stuff, they're calling like this, normal sadness because people get fucking sad. I mean, I know I get sad. Like there's a certain point of sadness that's like a black hole kind of, and like you feel like you're never gonna get out of it, which I've definitely been there. But like they're just calling, oh, that's depression. You just need to take these pills, and it's like. Nah, dude, like the human condition is like suffering, that's like another Buddhist teaching, like life is suffering, but to like accept that suffering wholeheartedly and to like stand firm and go against the grain, like ride Occam's razor, like into life, regardless.
Right.
Because I mean, that's another thing too, is like when we don't live our life in a way that's in such a way that's like do or die, like that's like the only acceptable all or nothing scenario, I think, in thinking in our daily life is like, okay, well, we're all gonna freaking die one day, whatever that means. Because I know that like my body at least is going to like get old and wrinkly and deteriorate. I mean, I may have like I think that I believe that I have an infinite like soul or like spirit, right? And we can like talk later about the differences between what the soul and spirit is, because a lot of people conflate all of these things at the same time. Like, you're gonna die. I mean, that's kind of like the assumption, right?
Exactly.
So, yeah.
Eat right, exercise. Eat right, and exercise, and keep our skin good. We can look like Frankie Valley.
Frankie Valley, like, well, and that's like a big thing too. Is like how does one go about knowing themselves? Like, what is your advice for somebody who's trying to get to know themselves better?
I tell them it's like almost like inversion therapy. It's like you gotta go out there and experience life and the hardships of it. You gotta actually go out there and take risks, and then learn when to take risks. So I learned, okay, I will only take risks out of love. That's it. If I love something or somebody, it will be a risk. That's the only time. And the only thing I risk for, I got my music, my art, literature, like the people who rather be my lover or my friends. I will risk my life for them. I already put my life on the line with this fucking government shit.
Oh yeah. I mean, that's like there's like such tenacity and like moral courage in that, right? And like I posted on Facebook about that dream that I had, which was literally last night, and it started my day off like super weird. I've got we'll talk about astrology again later, but like I'm like this dream, I'm just even thinking about it right now is like feels so exhausting. Like my chest feels so heavy. And like it's just like, have you ever been just in a crowd where people are like trying to leave like a venue or something and you're like having to go against them and like move through them and they're just all coming at you like a stampede? And you're just trying to maneuver out of them, and you don't want to go where they're going. But like, if you're like, I guess I could have. Like, I woke up and I thought about it for a little while. I was like, I guess I could like just stand like a immovable like stone and just like let them pass like around me, because like sometimes that does happen. Like maybe like an anthill. You know how like the ants just kind of like move around an object and they just keep going. Right. But like there was like some kind of fear about just like in the dream of me just like stop the struggle, because like it's like there's like this struggle that with like about going against the grain and like that, like going your own way, especially when like everyone's against you, and then like especially like with the conspiratorial thinking, like that's another thing that goes into the whole cognitive distortions. Is like I love conspiracy theories because it keeps my mind like hyper stimulated, because I'm trying to like validate like what's really going on here around us, right? And then like just if we know like what these words mean, like conspiracy theory, right? Like a conspiracy in of itself means two or more people, three or more people coming together and conspiring against another, which in a way, like being born is a kind of conspiratorial thing to happen to you.
Oh yeah, that's deep.
Because yeah, and that's like probably our first trauma is being born in itself. That's what my dad always says. He's like, I'm like, oh, it's your birthday. You're like, I love celebrating birthdays. I don't know, like I don't really like celebrating mine because I'm just like a wet blanket person. But I just love celebrating the life of others. And then my dad always goes, oh, you're just gonna celebrate my first trauma, like thanks. It's like,
but like he's right on a couple levels. He's right on a couple levels.